Hey everyone, Jacob again, coming at you. This time I'm actually going to, be going out in a little bit of vlog style, or whatever you guys want to call it, giving you a quick little update of my, cutting progress, what I'm doing, how I'm going about it, and a couple resources that I'm going to throw at you guys in the event you want to follow along. So, first and foremost, a lot of cutting it's going to be more diet oriented than it is, exercise or workout oriented. You'll hear it said time and time again, you can't out-train a bad diet. And I guess to kind of put that in perspective is, right, in America, I don't know where all you guys are watching from, but in America, the standard caloric intake is suggested to be 2,000 calories for a healthy male. So let's say that 2,000 calories is what you need. If you want to lose weight, you need to be in a caloric deficit, meaning you are burning more than what you are consuming. So let's say that you want to cut aggressively, so you're going to deficit yourself 500 calories a day. That's pushing it a bit in my opinion, but let's say that's what you want to go with. Now, let's say that you go out to eat one day, you go out and grab dinner, and you go to, Cheesecake Factory, right? Most of the dishes on those menus are somewhere between 1,800 and 2,200 calories a piece. So assuming you get a meal and you eat the entire thing, and then you have cheesecake, which is probably about another 1,000 calories, you have just ingested 3,000 calories in one meal. So, if you were supposed to be having a 1,500 calorie deficit, a 500 calorie deficit, you ate 1,500, you just not only overblew that deficit, but you are now in a surplus of 1,000 calories, right? So, let's think about that. How do you want to burn 1,000 calories? Well, if you're busting your ass running, you can do that in about an hour, but how many of you guys are going to go run for an hour? Right? Number one, that's a lot of time. Number two, it's a lot of running. Who likes running? Point I'm trying to make is, where was I going with that? You can't out-train a bad diet. It's just not going to happen. So, with respect to that, what I'm going to be doing is, in this video, I will link I'm having a hard time talking today, guys. Where I was going with that is, at the end of this video, or in the comment box down below, or description box, whatever the hell you want to call it, I will give you guys a link to my Google Drive for this account that will have some research, some of the things that I will talk about, whether it will be supplements, stimulants, different types of diet plans, things like that. I'll post a research in there. I'll also have some progress pictures posted up. So if you guys are interested in how my cut is going, I'll post some of those. I will also post diet plans. So if you guys are looking to lean yourself out and you're curious as to what you could eat or how you could build out a diet to either keep you feeling satiated while cutting calories, I'll have a couple example meal plans for that. Just to let you guys know, I do eat meat. I'm not a vegetarian. I do eat carbs, so it's not like I'm doing keto, but I do keep a pretty low carb diet. I try and stay 105 grams or below. So that'll be something that you guys will either have to pay attention to or not pay attention to, depending on your dietary preferences and or restrictions. So there is that. Last two things I intend to put in that Google Drive are workout splits and kind of a weekly progress on body fat and body weight. The idea behind this is a lot of the fitness industry and fitness icons will tell you that, you start eating right, you start exercising, like body fat will drop and weight will just melt off of you. And to some degree that's true, but this stuff takes time. More often than not, you'll hear about either cutting or bulking cycles being 8 to 10 weeks. The reason is it takes that amount of time before you're going to see results. So what I'm hoping to kind of call out with some of that information is I will show you guys the progress that I'm having week to week to week, so that you guys can understand, oh, you know, it's not an instantaneous process, this does take time. And you'll also be able to see, I guess, what different body fat percentage look like, at least on me. So you get an idea of, I guess, where you guys are at, where you want to be, and how long it'll take to get there. So all of that will be in the link to the Google Drive below. But as far as, I guess, progress goes on my cut, I've actually got a couple notes. So I really only, I guess, started getting serious about cutting on January 20th. I originally wanted to start my cut on January 8th, but I got sick as a dog. The flu this year was awful, so things were kind of pushed out. So on January 20th, I started getting the diet back in check. I started fasting. I like to do intermittent fasting, and I also started running in addition to hitting the gym every day, or at least every day, Monday through Friday. So in the past 2 weeks, I've done pretty good. I want to say I've dropped my body fat 10%. So that's not, 10% of my body weight. That is out of the fat that I was holding. I dropped that fat 10%. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. I am aiming to hit 8% body fat. The kind of way that I'm measuring this is I've got a Eufy, EUFY, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but it is a body fat scale, smart scale sort of deal. I'll actually post a link to that below as well if you are interested in it. But the idea with that is it tracks lean mass, fat mass, muscle percentages, bone density, and basically a whole bunch of stats that you could use to track your progress. So it uses, I want to say it's bioimpedance, which is sending electrons through your system to calculate out body mass indexes. It's not as accurate as something like a DEXA scanner or hydrostatic, but it will give you an idea of where you lie, which is what I'm using it for. So whenever I started on January 8th, it actually kicked back that I was at 23% body fat, which I don't think that's right. If I had to take a guess, I was probably closer to maybe 15%, not 23. So I'm using it to track a trend. As of this morning, I was at 20% body fat, so I've dropped 3%, which is cool. I figure once I hit, I wanted to cut fat in half, so half of 23 is what, 11 and a half, right? Once I hit 11 and a half, I'll probably either go get a hydrostatic or DEXA done, just so I can kind of calibrate and figure out exactly where I am. I have done all of the math on some of those Google Docs, assuming that the scale is super duper accurate and that 8% will be a legit 8%. So that's the math you're gonna see. But whenever I calculated that out, I believe it came out to being 25 weeks worth of cutting. I don't think it will take me nearly that long, but that's kind of what I'm planning for the next little while. But good things so far. Let's see, I'd like to keep this video short. That was just more or less, I guess, a progress update on where I am as far as cutting goes. I'll post another video up in a little while of how I'm, I guess, setting up meals and how I am setting up my workout splits. But until then, keep lifting, have fun, stay healthy, guys. Have a great day.